We've been spending a lot of time lately in the vineyard, have we not? Do you remember 3 weeks ago we had the parable that Jesus gave about the laborers who were hired at the last hour and yet paid the full day's wage? We had the parable of the vineyard where the one son says, I'll go and work, and doesn't go, and the other says he won't and does. Today we have Jesus comparing the vineyard to the house of Israel, to the chosen people of God. And in the first reading, we go back to that original description of the vineyard which God makes. He sees his chosen people as a vineyard which he has built up and constructed and grown to full force, and yet has been treated badly in the consequence. The image of the vineyard as God's chosen people, as God's whole creation, is passed down through each of the books of the Bible till we reach the time of Jesus. And in our own day, we have come to see the vineyard, God's creation, as much more than just a planting. We see it as the whole planet on which we are living. And so I would ask you to do one thing this week about the vineyard. On Wednesday, our Pope Francis sent a letter to us about the place in which we live, this vineyard which we call Earth. It's a letter. It's a long letter, longer than we usually write to each other, but it's worth reading. It's called Bless God, Laudate Deum in the Latin. It's about the way the earth is being treated and the consequences which we are beginning to see. And it's addressed to all people of goodwill, not just to Catholics or Christians, but to all people, because all of us who live on this vineyard, which is the earth, are responsible for its upkeep and its care, and are the victims of the consequences when we do not care for it. And if you're not convinced about the Pope's arguments, you must be convinced after having read the paper or seen the television over the past 12 months. All the natural catastrophes which could be averted if we cared better for this vineyard. And so I ask you then this week, instead of the scriptures, read that letter that the Pope sent to us, because it is filled with scriptural allusions and quotes, and brings us back to the reality of our own responsibility for the gift God has given us, the gift of this place in which we live and in which we are called to journey towards God. Because if we are destroying it, we are destroying the very ways we have of returning to the Father. Praise God, Laudate Deum. You can find it on any of your websites, and it's well worth 10 or 15 minutes of your time to read it. Please do so.